including this fantastic new Toyota Supra sold for over $41,000. This wonderful Rivian R1S just sold for a little under $120,000. We've done great with Rivians on Cars and Bids, and this amazing Bentley Continental GT Speed sold for around $55,000. If you're looking to buy or sell a cool enthusiast car from the modern era, the 1980s and up, Cars and Bids is the place to do it. With daily auctions, great selection, and free listings, check it out at carsandbids.com. All right, time for the quirks and features of the new Prius, and I'm going to start with its most obvious quirk and/or feature, and that would be the way it looks, which is very different from the outgoing Prius, and in fact, a lot better than the outgoing Prius, and in fact, it looks good. It actually looks good. This is an attractive car. It's nice to look at. I think the Toyota Prius is good looking. I can't believe I'm saying these words. But really, it does. Concept car-like, almost. A concept car for the road. Toyota says this design was inspired by coupes, and I can definitely see that, although this, in fact, is not one. It's a four-door hatchback just like the outgoing Prius, but it really does have sort of a sleek coupe-like look. This is a big departure for the Prius. When it first came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was a weird-looking, stubby four-door sedan. Then that was redesigned in like 2003-04 to this hatchback shape, and pretty much all Priuses since then have looked like that until now. The Prius is totally different and surprisingly attractive. In fact, from Toyota's press materials about the new Prius, Toyota says that this vehicle is designed to inspire the senses. That is a direct quote from the press materials, which is a bunch of PR BS. Certainly my sense of smell is not inspired by this car, but it does look good. Now, if you're like me, you might be wondering why? Why did Toyota bother to make the Prius good looking? Don't these cars just sell to zillions and zillions of people who couldn't care less what their car looks like? They just want two things, good fuel economy and to go slowly in the passing lane? Isn't that true? And the answer is no, it actually isn't. Well, the part about going slowly in the passing lane is true. That is a Prius hallmark, and I bet it won't be changed. But they don't actually sell that many of these cars. The Prius has been on a huge downswing in sales over the last 5-10 years, and I suspect this new design is intended to breathe new life into the Prius and get people excited about it again. The Prius's peak sales years were 2012-2013, when they sold around 240,000 of these, but last year they sold only 59,000, and in fact, the Prius hasn't cracked the 100,000 sale mark in a year since 2017. Sales have slowed, people are moving on to SUVs, crossovers, and electric cars. Toyota sees that, and so now we have an attractive Prius to try to bring people back. And it's not just the design where Toyota has injected new life into the Prius. They've also given the Prius power, which is another thing I never really thought I would say. But check this out. The outgoing Prius had a 1.8-liter hybrid four-cylinder with about 120 horsepower. This new Prius has a 2-liter hybrid four-cylinder, and it tops out just under 200 horsepower. Still not a huge number, but a big boost from the outgoing model. What I suspect happened here is that Toyota sees that consumers are realizing that you can get an efficient electric car and not compromise on performance. You have the Model 3, Model Y, Rivians, all these electric cars are incredibly fast. And consumers are like, why should I get a Prius and have the slowest damn car on the road when I can be efficient and fast with an EV? So now the Prius has more power. Toyota says the outgoing model did 0 to 60 in the mid 9-second range. This thing is the low 7-second range. Again, not fast, but a lot better than any other Prius before it. Also worth pointing out, the new Prius is going to be offered in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, just like the outgoing model, and the torque figure has risen too from 120